She kissed me that night like she wanted to start over, and I believed her, even as I felt the weight of the ring box in my pocket. I was going to propose to her again, right there in the living room where we'd first moved in together, hoping it would fix whatever had been quietly breaking between us. I'd spent weeks planning it, convinced that a grand gesture could undo the distance, never realizing how far apart we actually were. The knock on the door was frantic, out of place for a Thursday. My brother stumbled in, shirt half-buttoned, face flushed, eyes darting between us. He barely managed to mumble something about a misunderstanding before her face went pale, and I watched the silent conversation pass between them. Something too intimate, something I was never supposed to see. I demanded the truth, and she gave it with the kind of cold honesty that makes you feel like you've been living someone else's life. They'd been together for months, mostly in the hours I thought she was working late or he was helping me out. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just sat down, feeling the ring box dig into my thigh, the irony almost funny. That's when she told me she'd already filed for divorce, weeks ago, and had planned to tell me after the weekend. My brother looked at the floor, hands shaking, and suddenly it all made sense. The missed calls, the awkward silences, the way she flinched when I touched her. I realized I'd been proposing to a ghost, holding on to a future that had already slipped away without me noticing. Here's the twist. As they stood there waiting for me to explode, I felt something I hadn't expected: relief. I'd been so desperate to save what we had, I hadn't seen how much of myself I'd lost in the process. The proposal wasn't really for her. It was a last-ditch effort to prove I was enough. Watching them, I finally understood that sometimes betrayal isn't the end of the story. Sometimes it's the only way you figure out who you really are.